Today we're going to be looking at inheritance. So what is inheritance? Well, as you imagine with a family tree, when something is inherited, lots of its traits are preserved. And that's kind of the fundamental idea with Python and other languages. So, you define a parent class in the same way, and then you define a child. And the difference here is that in the brackets, you put the name of the parent, and you can have a constructor and other methods. The real difference is that all of the methods are inherited. So if we have a parent and a child, who is a child of the parent, then this method, this will print something, is inherited by the child. So you can see we create a child instance, and the child.method, even though it's not defined, is the same as the parent method, because that's its parent. You can also do the same with constructors. So here you can see we haven't defined an init for the child, but we have for the parent. And we've also overwritten the method. So here the method will print something in the parent and other in the child. And so when we call it for the child, it prints other. However, if we're to create a parent and then call method, it would print something. So here we can call the parent's constructor and then do our own constructor maybe underneath. And you can either do that using parent, not the word parent, but the name of the parent class, or using the super keyword, which automatically identifies the parent class and then calls the init statement. And we can have our own extra thing down here if we needed to. So now we'll go and have a play with that and create some animal classes to illustrate this concept further. So now we're going to start by creating an animal class. So I'll type in class and animal, and we'll put a constructor in, and of course we're going to use the self keyword. We also have a sound, and we'll say that self or sound is equal to the sound. And then we'll define a method called make sound, and of course we need self, and we'll just print the sound. So if we create a cat and set that bit to be an animal, and the sound the cat makes is meow, and then we'll say cat.make sound, and so we'll run this. And we see that it just prints meow. Maybe as well as the cat, we want to have a dog, and that can also be an animal, so the dog will go woof. And then we want the dog to make sound as well. And so we can run it again, and it goes meow, and then woof. What if instead we want cats and dogs to be separate? So what we'll do is we'll define a class cat, and this will be a child class of animal, so we put it in brackets. And we're going to redefine init. So the constructor just takes in self, and then it will call the super constructor with meow. And the reason we don't need a self argument is that this is identical to saying here cat.make sound, where we don't need a self argument. And we can do the same for dog. So the dog that we were. So instead of saying cat is an animal, we just say cat is a cat. And when we say dog is an animal, we say dog is a dog. And we can do that, and we can see that it works exactly as we intended. However, maybe because dogs are quite noisy, we want to overwrite the make sound. So instead, we'll redefine the make sound, again with self. But for a dog, we'll print the sound, and then we'll print it again. So if we run this again, we can see the dog goes woof woof. That's probably a bit more realistic. maybe looking at methods, we could say that this also has a number of legs, and that's equal to 4 by default, because most animals have 4 legs. So we could say self.legs is equal to 4. And so if we then print the number of legs that a cat has, and the number of legs that a dog has, we can expect that they both have 4 legs. And this is because this property has also been inherited, as well as the methods. So you can see we can add other methods as well, if we wanted to. But in general, you can see that we've got our base class, and then our subclasses of dog and cat. And we can overwrite methods and add arguments. And anything that you don't overwrite stays the same. And actually this is similar in other languages as well, but in Python it's also really easy to do. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You've been able to make some animal classes, and you've learned about inheritance. I'll see you again same time next week. Bye-bye.